so tight. Darkness wants to last forever. All that's good just seems to pass. The insight you had that you gave to us freely, you made our view grow brighter and clearer by passing through your glass. And now that we are on our own, the rain has gotten wetter. All the clouds are more dark, but we will make these things better. Your keen eyes for observation, peering out for duty's need. I had been blessed when they settled upon me. Flawed and foolish, it was all agreed. As time went on, we grew closer. Little secrets get revealed, and all together we could work magic. You helped me to understand the need. Your strength, our shield. And now that we are on our own, the rain has gotten wetter. All the clouds are more dark, but we will make these things better. One less soul who knows our secrets, another spirit roaming free. For sure I know we'll take heed of the whispers left in our ears like shadows that could be. We have dreams and inner demons. We push on through our regret. We're thinking about all the joy and our victories, even while sadness snares us in its net. So I know that we'll remember, even if we need you now. It's easy to start, but it's so hard to finish. Living without you, there's less to hold on to. It's so much harder now. And now that we are on our own, the rain has gotten wetter. All the clouds are more dark, but we will make these things better. And now that we are on our own, the road has gotten longer. With every step we take, we are growing ever stronger. Wading through a ruthless wasteland, stealing glimpses at the light. Whoever thought we'd be walking with
As I lose myself to time, I can't help but stop and feel how the time has gone since I've seen you go on. Sorrow comes through for the years that pass, each year that I spend seeing you. It was so self-satisfying to tell my love to you on the day we met, but it's faded away. Each birthday of yours that goes by, each year I honor with candles and tears. I believe in you, I believe in your mind. Though it's been a whole year since I've seen you, I stay here for you. Though the time piles on, no, I wait for you. I would like to say come back, but I just can't bring myself to come to the door and see you in her arms. Those eyes of hers glow with a kind warm light and draw me away from your own. I believe in you,
seen you for a week. I'm worried, but, where's the money? There's certainly no way you would you? You wouldn't dare to leave me, no, not at all. I wasn't followed, so please return my call. I doubled back, I knocked 3 times, the door was open wide. All the wool in our bed sliced and turned outside. You wouldn't dare to leave me, not with all I know. Your mama's bar, your brother's train yard, everywhere you'd go. So I took a powder across the tracks, found your family too, and I asked if they'd seen ya. All they said was, who? Now on my tail I can smell when I've been framed, so I took your picture knocking and got a bunch of different names. Heard the stories of the others set up to take the fall, and how they all look just like me. Guess that's why you didn't call. I'm out of belief that you got drunk and spilled all about our job. Damn near got you killed. I'd call it my mistake. Find a safer place to hide. It don't add up and I might be a fool, 'cause I never really had no special schooling. But 2 and 2 sure don't make a 5. My headhunt starts tonight. Lost the cops, found a dive, got drunk enough for 3. Cried the blues a bit too loud, got bounced to the street. The tale of your 2-timing and the way that revolver strapped it. Open, kicked your carcass out of bed. Leave me, no, no, not through that door. The hot lead won't be whizzing by, you'll just hit the floor. It was a job before the pleasure ride. If you'd have shot straight and hadn't lied, we'd split the take and then split for good. But hey, get back down. Understood. You would not dare to leave me, and even if you do, hey, check out this pretty little wanted poster. This fella kinda looks like you. I ripped your mug off the postman's wall, dropped on one of them anonymous calls. So my aim is getting steady and my temper's getting warmer. They say it's dead or alive, I'll make sure it's the former. If you dare to leave me, if you dare to leave, choose wise. Do
Morning, Petra. How you doing today? I'm not actually sure how well this is going to run at the moment. There is probably more of a chance that we end up bailing and do something else today than it actually working, sadly. But we'll see.
Then they started chucking ponies out the window. One by one were thrown off and flew back up doing tricks. It happened fast and somehow I got tossed up in the mix. The ground came at me lightning quick.
I'm doing well. I should still be asleep at the moment. My days are kind of backwards, where I usually have my free time first and then work. I work late through the, usually work late through the night, so it's way better for me to have my afternoon, quote unquote, in the morning. But I'm normally not awake till 10 because the short version is I've had insomnia for years, and if I get insomnia the night before I have work, I need that buffer of my quote-unquote afternoon before work to actually get through the day without missing work. But I woke up at like 6 in the morning today after not sleeping much. I feel great, like honestly, I hate how sleeping less makes me feel more rested and sleeping more makes me feel like a zombie, but it is what it is. The only downside is that I now have to figure out how to survive the day from this point on. Why are we lockpicking in Fallout? Is that the lockpicking minigame? Is that what they have in this? It's the lockpicking minigame from Fallout. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I had no idea that you were part of the production for Horse and His Boy. I'd seen you posting about it. I thought you just really enjoyed the show. I thought you'd gone and seen it. No idea you were part of the production. Well, this is awkward. That's a bit more comfortable. Don't cancel me, please. I need to make sure I've got my stuff set up properly, so give me a sec. Because this is weird and awkward and I don't know how this is going to go, but hopefully well. What's my hotkey for muting? Toggle microphone mute and push to talk. I don't have a mute. That's fine. That should be fine, it just means I won't be able to mute the in-game audio. I should have a hotkey for that. I also shouldn't need one because it's a moderated, whitelisted, and like curated server, so we'll see. See how we go. Hopefully it streams okay. This server ran super beautifully the other day. And I had some issues that forced me to reinstall basically the whole game and everything top to bottom. Reinstalling the game put all my settings back at Ultra, and I have to say I forgot how beautifully this game ran in Ultra for me. Like, surprisingly, insanely well. blew my mind how well this game runs. I shouldn't be able to run this game in Ultra, and it just does. Right? So, to catch up everyone else, I went through Character Creator. Oh, I'm in some fancy French diner at the moment. Wait for it to load in. Now, this is the thing that's gonna bug me, because I basically have to tab out to get the game to load properly. And that's gonna be something I genuinely have to work with. And that's not awesome. I just hope it streams okay. That's my only hope. Let's cut that out. I don't have a fade out for that, whoops. Set all up my new music and then don't set up all my filters for it. So, last I logged out, I was reading in, I forgot the name of the hotel, it starts with a B. Bastille. There, it said it right there on that window. I sat down in Bastille. In universe, I've spent a couple of days in Saint Denis, fresh off the boat. I don't know where from. I'll have to figure that out. But, fresh off the boat in Saint Denis. If you're not familiar with Red Dead, Saint Denis is the new New York. The old New York is somewhere else now. I don't think this is going to run well, is it? I have to tab out to load things. That's such a weird fix, but it's like... We'll see how we go. Maybe I can get away with it, but... For some reason, the base game runs okay. This one doesn't. Speaking of tabbing out, I've lost my cursor. Can I get my... There we go. So here's Saint Denis. This is sort of the new New York. The Red Dead Redemption 1, New York was over... Tab out so the map loads. Red Dead Redemption 1 Blackwater was your New York where you got off the boat, but they've sort of moved that now and designed like a whole new map northeast of Blackwater, which I don't mind. It doesn't even... It's not like it doesn't even fit geographically. It's just curious how this was New York and now this is New York. But yes, we're fresh off the boat in Saint Denis, and I have no idea what my plans are. The short and sweet of my backstory is that I've grown up and moved on. I gotta go see the world, Dad. You could summarize my character in one word, and it's wanderlust. So that's going to be my driving factor. I don't know how to go about it, though. It's going to be a very curious time, because this is a first of many aspects for me, and it's gonna drop frames. We're running at 5 FPS now on the map, which is worse than I thought it would be. Let me make sure I've got everything fixed that I can get fixed here. At least you don't notice it on the map. 5 FPS. Hopefully the audio's okay. Gradgar! He should be in bed soon. Midnight for you, isn't it? I hope you're doing well, Gradgar. And Jenny, welcome in. Working and lurking? This early. I say that, I'm so used to night shift jobs that I'm just like, working at 8, ew. But you might be on the East Coast too. It could be 10 or 11 over there. So, as far as blindly walking into the server and not having any idea what to do, I've given myself one clue. I've got one thing I can do if nothing else happens, which is my mom and pa used to tell me I had family in Blackwater. So the first boat of operation for my character is going to be to meet with them. At least in the next week. Whether something happens before then or that becomes my first driving story arc, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Oh, so one of the things that happened, I did mention this just before, when I reinstalled the game, it boosted all my graphics settings, and I think RedM boosted them again. I might actually be running the game on Ultra here. I could very, very easily drop some of those settings back down, perhaps.
Hello there.
Oh my good lord.
Hello there.
If we're running a horrible stream, people actually watching, I might have to jump over to the main. Because it's not too buttery smooth at the moment. Welcome in, Jahusho and Jonathan, both as well. How are you doing? I do apologize for the delay. We're having some tech issues at the moment. I think there's a small buffer. Pausing and unpausing will fix that. Hopefully. It's a bit of a mess. But I wanted to try this RedM roleplay. I found a server I absolutely love. I was testing it all last night. It ran beautifully last night, but as always, my one and only problem with RedM is that it doesn't, with Red Dead in general, is that it doesn't capture. When I reinstalled it the other day because of a couple of issues, it put all my settings by default on Ultra. They look so gorgeous. I don't want to turn them down again, but if I have to, I will. Because the problem isn't the performance, it's OBS, and they conflict at some complicated way that causes asset streaming problems, it causes frame rate problems, and the capture just hates the game. I don't know why. I'm on desktop capture at the moment, which is why you see all this nonsense pop up occasionally, because that's the best way to get it to run, sadly. How was your stream, Jonathan? And Shahusha, how are both your streams? Was it the awkward run? I forgot what you're calling it now. I'll risk one of these. I know overlays should probably definitely be out of the question today, but while we've got them up, we might as well use them. I have typoed your name so horribly. Yes, that's me. No, no, the typo went back to me. Why? Go away. Okay, that's not meant to happen. I'll have to fix that command later on and stop writing names horribly. Let's try that again, shall we? With a K and an A. Did I do it? I think I did it.
Resin piles like coal and stone, yeah. Big yellowy blobby piles. No, we did have a troll come by, right?
That was back when you had the avatar.
You smashed something up over here. Oh, well, I guess there's nothing left for him to smash unless he manages to reach into the...
First stream on Friday and killed a bone mass. I went into the mountains with 600 silver. 20 stacks of silver. It's a fair amount. Does that mean you're set for silver now? Oh no, is that mine? Did I crash or did the... I think I've crashed. Stella, welcome in. I missed so many messages there. I do apologize. Today is going to be a bit more awkward than normal. If not only for the fact that if I do end up getting into a conversation in game, it'll probably end up being... I won't be able to catch up on chat as quickly. On top of the game running horribly, on top of everything loading poorly, on top of this and... yeah, it's going to be a rough day. If it gets too bad, I will switch off RedM and we'll go back to the regular online, because it's still a game I love, even if the economy's a bit busted. I don't mind it, and regular online would allow me just to chill out, still play the game, still catch up with everyone, and still say hi. Jonathan Raymer nearly got a free shout out there. Well, yeah, so what's meant to happen is that if I typo and the account doesn't exist, it's not meant to be my name. It's meant to be blank. I put that the syntax for Extreme Elements is insanely complicated because there's like 4 different ways to point at someone and say, I want to target you with a command. So the shout out is the command and typing someone's name is the target. I thought I had it set up where if the target didn't exist, it was blank so that nothing happened and no shout out occurred. But it's broken. It is broken in some way. I'll have to go back and have a look at it. Because I spent days getting that command set up so that it was specifically targeted a real channel. It found the real channel, even if they didn't have chat history with me. And it bailed if I typoed and the channel didn't exist. It was meant to be blank. That was like the perfect way to have the shoutout command. It didn't do one of the 3 things, sadly. How's the game running? Is it still horribly stuttery? Does it look terrible? My phone's on like a 30-second delay at the moment, so I do apologize. If it is stuttery, I won't know until let me say this. By the time I say this, it'll be on my phone. But welcome in! If you don't know me, my name is BordBrain. Welcome to the mess that is my stream. The burb mess. It's going to be a mess today. I hadn't explained sufficiently. You're probably seeing some awful frame drops at the moment. But introductions are probably in order. This is Claudette. She's fresh off the boat in Saint Denis, and if I was going to summarize the character with any single word, it would be wanderlust. She's grown up, she's no longer wants to be bound by her family farm. She wants to go out and see the world. The only driving force I have at the moment as far as directions to go is that I've got a complete misnomer. What do you call those things where the story has an object that simply forwards the plot? Ah, something device, isn't it? But I've got a complete dead-end story plot, which is that I had family in Blackwater, but I haven't heard from Ma and Pa, haven't received letters from family in Blackwater in years, so it's going to be dead-end. We get there, obviously there's no family, and then I just have to figure out my way from there. But it gets me into the part of the map I like. Oh my good lord, it popped up on my phone, and that is... So long as I don't move the camera, this is fine. Alright, camera motion, no camera movement. We sit here, this is the whole stream. And then only when my character moves, it looks horrible. But yes, Claudette, fresh off the boat, trying to figure out what she wants to do. I don't really know character trait-wise. I haven't particularly thought her through. I don't want to play a hero. She's not going to be a guns-blazing character. So no bandits, no gangs, not joining the sheriff's office or bounty hunting, nothing like that. Yeah. I suppose, as with most young people filled with wanderlust, a little naive. Perhaps unlearned in the way the world works when you're out on your own, but besides that, I don't particularly have much idea how to direct her. I may have to go in here and... I don't know how much I can change on the fly, but let's at least find out if the game put me on Ultra. Because it did. I turned it all down to high as a cap. VSync should be off. Actually, does that help? Is that any better with VSync off and triple buffering disabled? That should be high. That should be high, high, high. There's no need for Ultra while streaming. I mean, I can clearly afford it, and it runs so beautifully when it's actually just me, with no OBS open. Motion blur off, please. Thank you. Air quality, I want high. That's the only one I'm turning up. Okay. So. I tab out, what happens? 30 FPS? If I tab back in, 25? 12. No. Okay. So close. I don't really know what else to do, though. I don't even know if that was VSync that did it. We could try half. Half VSync. Tab out. 30. Tab back in. 26. 27. 27. 8, that 29? Okay. If it's a VSync issue, I'll live with half VSync, I don't mind. Let's see if we can keep that. Above 24 is movie quality, right? How does it look? It's daylight. Okay, so let's go out on the town and see what we can find. Let's crash test our first foray out into Saint Denis. Economy busted? Do we need to convert to more fictitious currencies? I would say they invented a fictitious currency, but they didn't even really. It's the gold rush. Gold bars are your premium currency in online. I'm gonna go for a stroll. Let me know how horrible it looks, but look how gorgeous the game looks. Look, this is why I drop quality when I'm streaming, and I don't mind. This game looks so beautiful, though. I dropped the quality, though, because I know 720p 30 FPS and buffering and streaming and all of that. There's so many layers of degradation that you probably don't see this gorgeous view like I do. Also, this server doesn't have first person. There's only the 3. Oh! I stand corrected. I couldn't do this last night, that there's first person. Now, we are talking to ourselves, more muttering in the street, I suppose. Really, back then that was not a smart idea. You'd get yourself put in a, Do they have straitjackets back in 1890s? When did they invent all of that? Locking people up for being crazy. Ah. So hungry? Need to make some food? Ooh, what are you having? I also haven't actually eaten yet. My stream has crashed on my phone. Give me a sec, because that's my only indicator of how the stream quality looks. So if my stream crashes on my phone, I'm blind, but it says it's running okay. If I trust OBS, it says it's running okay. To a point where I'm okay with it. But I need to actually see what it looks like. Saying it's running at 25 plus FPS is great. If that's not what it looks like at the other end, then it doesn't matter what that number says if it looks trash. Is it even capturing? I've got a black screen. What happened? Ooh, there we go. You know, hey, got it back on my phone. I'm seeing decent movie quality image there. 24 plus FPS is my absolute bare minimum. And I don't think that looks too bad. Maybe we might be able to get away with it. Because I did want to go play a bit of Claudette today. How do we go? Feeling a bit peckish. Now, The reason I've started RedM with a bit of a fresh off the boat character is because I am also in a way fresh off the boat. I've got not the slightest idea what I'm doing, nor where to go, how to meet anyone, what stories are going on. I don't know anyone here. Being fresh off the boat allows me to be a stranger in universe and out. So... Oh no, my Twitch is buffering again. Is it buffering bad? How bad is it buffering? I'm sort of wandering around a bit aimlessly here. One of the oldest institutions was Bethlehem, which began in 1247. US had one in 1814. So maybe I shouldn't walk around muttering to myself then in the street. Or just, keep my mouse off the hotkey or push to talk for a bit. Now, what I do need to do is have an idea of what I'm doing in character for the moment. So, there are tram lines, and they do go down to the dockyards. I'm gonna see if I can find the sheriff's office and see if anyone's home. What I should plan to do is catch a train down to Blackwater, but I don't think those lines connect in the game, actually. I'm pretty sure it's actually running okay. Is it running okay? I'm so happy if it's running okay. So, you've got the train line here. It goes up to Valentine, if I remember correctly. Passes by... Is that the train line? Yeah, that's the train line. That's the state line. But there's a turn off here to Valentine, and I don't know how to... There must be a way to direct the train. The closest we get to Blackwater is a little ways north at the Montana River. Still, that's my next best bet. Taking train, see if I can meet someone, find anyone that's also on their way out that way. Not seeing buffering? I'm really happy to see to read that actually, because you saw how bad it was running before. To get something actually watchable, and it doesn't buffer or have any other weird quirks, I'm super happy. Uh-oh. Did I speak too soon? I think I spoke too soon. But yes, sheriff's office. If we follow the tram lines, we should get down to the dockyards. We can get some directions somewhere along the way if we don't run into the sheriff's office ourselves. I'm going to try and not use the in-game map as a cheat sheet for directions, but could definitely help us out. And it doesn't seem like many people are actually in Saint Denis. It says there are 34 people in the lobby at the moment, but I think there's only a handful in the actual game. 34 is the total count of people on TeamSpeak. There's a big chapel, right? Lost person in a big city, church or a sheriff's station, both alike should do me good for getting directions. I'm still a little peckish. One of the things I love, I absolutely love, I wish the base game had this. While you open a menu, your character automatically walks. Same with chat box. I'm not pressing anything right now, and my character's off. I absolutely love that, because it means you can type, you get full typing power too. You don't have to avoid using WASD while typing and that sort of stuff. Speaking of, I don't actually know if this chapel is T? T? T T T? T T T T? T. T Y T. T Y T? T. T? Oh! Hello. It took a while. I don't think the chapel has an interior though. That's... Uh-oh. Well, It's running at 30 FPS, but the game is not. Capturing at 30 FPS, perhaps. How about here? Something's going wrong. Is there anything I can do to the game out here? I don't think so. I don't have an issue streaming. It's just like a weird lockup that happens when both these programs are on side by side. I might kill the Steam overlays how it takes screenshots though. You know what? I'll take that loss. For today, I'm gonna kill the game overlay. Steam. This is taking more setup than hoping. Although, to be fair, I was kind of expecting to not be able to stream this at all. So the fact we've got something kind of watchable. Uh-oh, sound alerts.
Don't drink and Pepsi. Drink only water and milk. Else your bones will be weak. Like in Skyrim, water's health is fucking bitch. You better drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch.
I closed Steam overlay and I've been kicked. Interesting. I'm going to be turning off sound alerts, but thank you for the hydrate. Probably I'll try and keep Stream Elements overlay going because that's on my notifications, but let's just cut a fair amount of these overlays. Right. Not I don't actually know why killing Steam overlay dropped me out of the game because I still have the client open for TeamSpeak. I don't have a lot of anything moving smoothly at the moment, but the TeamSpeak client is open. Let me... I'm going to drop out from TeamSpeak and rejoin. Is TeamSpeak busted? Hang on. Disconnected? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Hey, okay. This is not super great. Now RedM is frozen. How's everyone else? How's everyone going? I don't think my hotkey works while I'm locked up like this. It's just hemorrhaging frames. My whole system is hemorrhaging frames. There is something about... I don't know what it is. There's something about the way these programs interact that hates my... I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. The game runs on Ultra. I can stream any other game, but these two programs together don't communicate. In the slightest. But the fact it locks up my entire system as well. RedM, of course you crashed, yeah. So, let's let stream recover for a bit. Why is it in Russian? Disconnected by server, please log into TeamSpeak. Let's... one more try? Halfway to the theatre, you've got another performance today, Petra. What? You said you did the... Let's scroll back that far. You acted in the first run, now you're in the booth. Sound booth or the lighting booth? Or just watching? Can I get rid of the Xbox overlay? Apologies. If it doesn't work again, if we end up having the same issues, it was running so well for a little while. But if it happens again, then I'll switch back to the regular online mode for the stream. Two? Hang on. Two. You acted in the first run, now you're in the booth. Two. I'm sorry, because the delays caught me as well. I might have asked... I remember asking if you were in sound booth or the lighting booth. Or just watching. So, two, if that's in reference to those three options, would have been the lighting booth. Catching up... I do apologize for the delay and for everything running. Hopefully it's a bit better soon. I'm still cruising through some minor things here I can clean. Make it run better. I've killed my bot. Commands will still work, but it will not be my bot's name. It'll just be Stream Elements today. But such is the price I'm going to pay to try and get this working. Now, I'm not going to use the Steam overlay. We're just going to boot it up old-fashioned way by clicking on an icon in the start menu. It's been a long time since I've done that. Huge interest on whether or not people would be interested in playing the normal Red Dead Online from the standalone game with private lobbies. I can the method's not a secret. I'm happy to explain it if you want to have your own private lobby. The way it works, which I've said before, is that you edit a file to have like a super secret passphrase, and anyone with that super secret passphrase is in the same instance of Red Dead Online. So I don't have to give my passphrase out if people want to do their own. If you have just one friend you want to play Red Dead Online with, then you would make your own passphrase. So something else too is that I might rename this one, because this is my edited one. I'm going to rename this startupmeta.board. Now, I could edit this. And we could call this the public one. And so, I'm going to go down here and change my passphrase, and I'm going to call this... It's case sensitive, but if you just want the file, that makes it easy too. So, what I've done, startup.meta.public. This is the system I'm going to be using because I do want to have a public-facing one for stream. So what I would then do, this is public, and the password is BordStream, all one word, capital B, capital S. So then I take public, copy, rename, and I get rid of everything except startup.meta, and then that becomes the one I'm using, so long as it's called startup.meta. If I want my private one with friends only, I change board, copy, rename to startup.meta. I'm going to keep them labeled like that and copy the one I want to use and rename the one I want to use on the day. If you delete the startup.meta and keep these ones, copy... This is an overly complicated way of doing it, but that's my plan. Public one, I'm happy for the people to know the passphrase for that because I don't mind anyone here who sees it on stream to join. I'm not using it at the moment, of course, but the private one, which I won't show, I'm happy to give that to friends I trust because that is going to be just a quiet friends only one. The public one, I'm thinking of making it a daily code, so the public one may change. As long as you have any of these files, you'll be disconnected from the online mode, generally speaking, so... But that's my decision. If there's interest in it, then I'll have a public-facing one and a friends-only one. I'll probably be spending my spare time in the friends-only one, and then any time I'm on stream, I might use the public-facing one. At least we're still at the church. How's it running? Take two. I have double overlay. I have base game overlay and... No, there goes the base game overlay. So let me tab out so it loads a little bit here because that building just went potty. You're in the lighting sound booth on comms. You have two performances today. How long's it? I thought it was a whole day performance. I'd actually been looking, not looking into, but I'd known about the horse and his boy previously. I thought it was like a 4-hour performance. Is it shorter than that, or are you just full on for the whole day? I suppose if you did a morning performance and an evening performance, then you could put a 2-hour break in the middle.
Come on, move it.
I think daily code would be the best bet. Because then it's only people here on stream that day that have the code.
I guess I'll settle down one of these days.
Je vous souhaite une bonne journée.
I did not understand a word of that, lady. Well, the cathedral's closed. Next best bet. Where was the tram lines? Tram lines go there. Sounds a little busier now. The friends-only code won't change. That'll be stuck. That'll be a fixed set code, only given to people. I don't mind +1s if you have a friend you want to bring along. The only rule for the friends-only code is strictly no reckless PvP. Same, courtesy rule, the same as most roleplay servers, is don't random deathmatch. Don't randomly walk up to people with a shotgun. Now, if you have reason to not like someone and want to gun them down. But if it's random and you're just doing it for fun, then my code will probably change if that starts happening. I'll pick something else for the friends only one. And then again, we'll start the process of sending it out to people we trust and +1s are allowed and all that. If we end up... Because there's no way to ban or moderate. I just have to change the code and start from scratch. Which is also why I think the public one should be daily. So that we can keep it a short list of people who only want to play that day. That's a constable, but I'm pretty sure that's an NPC. What's got a bell over here? Something else that might help the performance is actually getting out of Saint Denis, because at the moment, this is one of the busiest places in the game. The last run of the Horse and His Boy was 1 a day. This run is 2 per day, Thursday, Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. 5 a week. You must be exhausted by the end of it. I could only imagine how the people in those costumes feel after 2 performances a day. Bit of an awkward question, but are they washable? I'm pretty sure, oh, Aslan. I almost forgot his name then. I was about to say Atlas. No, I'm pretty sure Aslan is a 2-part suit at least, but I don't know how washable those things would be depending on what they're made of. Although he'd probably be the not the worst one when it comes to cleanliness, I don't suppose. But on a stage like that, especially if you got lights beaming down on you, how long does it go for? Is it a 4-hour performance? Is it 8 hours a day? Trumpet player. I was seeing on my phone it isn't running too great. I don't have regular emotes. Yes and no, it's energizing. I suppose in a way, you're not likely to fall asleep during the performance, that's true. But at the end of the day, you'd have to be tired, like, just... I guess if this is your second run, perhaps it's, there's like a fine line I found when I was doing production work years and years ago. It's not tiring if you enjoy what you're doing and you love it. If the performance is great fun to watch and you don't mind being a part of it, it's genuinely not tiring to sit there and run a performance for 3 hours, 4 hours. And if you get more into the groove and everyone knows their part and it works like butter smooth, putting all these pieces together, you might be able to get away with it without any wear and tear at all. Physically. 3-part puppet. Missed the question. Just about cleanliness. Oh, the second question was how long the play runs for, because I thought it was a 4-hour performance. You have a courthouse or something in Saint Denis, they'd have to have a courthouse. That's... I mean, that looks like a courthouse, but I'm not sure that's a courthouse. That is quite the mansion. Three and a half hours. I wasn't far off. So it's 7 hours with 2 performances a day. From noon to 11. You do it... That's insane. I suppose it's a lot of it's a lot of time. It's half a day, but you know, if you actually have a break in there and it's just in office, that's not the worst. I used to do that at my old job, actually. I would have X amount of time on roster, and then I would just stay there to have my break and come back and do like another X amount of hours on roster. So the day would be like 9 or 10 hours long sometimes, but it was really not all work all the time. Oh, and wait. 3.5, including intermission. That's not so bad. I'd only heard the 4-hour mark. I didn't realize that included intermission as well. But look at these houses. Look at how fancy and massive these places are. They've got like... Hold up. They've got a carport. They've got a cart port. What? They got a separate building for that cart and horse. But it's like... It's not a stable like you would expect. Do you know how baffling it is that in 30 years from the set piece of this game, the Italian mafia and Tommy guns were all the rage here in Saint Denis, apparently. Oh, sorry. In the 1920s is when you had that... Well, the 1920s is when Mafia 1, the game, is set. They may not share universes, but it's so bizarre to think this is 1898. The main game takes place in 1899, and Redemption 1 takes place in 1911. 10 years after Red Redemption 1, the cowboy game, Mafia 1 occurs in the 1920s. History... I know they say history always seems faster when you look at it in hindsight, but it really does seem fast when you focus on certain points like that. And you get almost a 2-hour break between performances as well. That's admittedly less than I thought. Well, I was thinking like 2.5, I suppose, but at least a little bit of rest and recuperation. What sort of crowds are you pulling? There's a pretty big question. If I could go, I absolutely would, but I'll have to look into your where you're traveling. I don't think it's not likely to come close by. I'd definitely have to travel to go see it, but I don't know the route. Are you going across the country? Coast to coast, or is it just a couple of places in spots? Speaking of, how's the travel been? Putting all the pieces together, I saw your tweet about going cross-country, and then I put together that you're working on a horse and his boy. All of these things falling into place, like, yeah, no, you have been across the country. That's insane. Well, yeah, if I haven't missed my opportunity to go see it, I would absolutely love to. You hope to go overseas? Ooh. Good lord, if you ever get that big, don't forget us. Wobla, welcome in. Terribly sorry. If you do have massive delay, you can pause and unpause the stream. But we do have performance issues today. The stream is super choppy, and this game doesn't run very well in the online server. I'm persisting because it was okay for a little bit there, but there may be a buffer problem, so I hope there's not too much delay. I could stay with you? Oh my lord. Don't tempt me with such things. That's like a thing I'd put on my resume. Worked on horse and... No, it's not even worked on horse and his boy. It's like, traveled with horse and his boy for like 2 days. lot of employers just be like, what does that mean? Don't worry about it. It's a prideful moment for me. Travel was for vacation. Oh, that wasn't to do with the show. So have you been moving from state to state, though, with the show? I am still terribly lost. I'm kind of standing here on a post. Do I have a slush wave?
Hey there.
I slash wave, nothing happens. Be right back. Ads? There should be no ads. Oh, if you paused and unpaused, I do apologize. I forgot pausing and unpausing has ads. Let me quickly get my emote stuff up though. Slash wave didn't work. 8 will do for now. 10 is probably what I'm gonna use at night. And we've got Stinky as an emote. Good lord. Whom? Look Horizon. Cry. Women are not allowed to use the emote P. You know, I kind of get that one, I guess. But the fact that emote exists is also interesting. Wave is an emote. So is bird, but I'm not going to type slash bird because that would be... Hang on, do I need a prefix? Okay, yes. Slash wave does nothing. It's slash e wave. There we go. I genuinely love Red Dead. I'm an absolute sucker for games that have worlds that are this thoroughly thought out. Like, if you knew nothing about the 1980s, if you knew nothing about the 1890s or about anything about cowboys and westerners, this game feels real enough that you could use it as a basis for finding out stuff about westerners for the Wild West. It is so gorgeous in almost every meaning of the word. And that, to me, is enough to carry even a pretty mid-game. Like, even if the game was pretty average, I think having a world that's this realistic, people walk past. There's people going on their everyday jobs. They will say hi. Like, you got carts and horses, and it's a real world. Just about. As real as you can get in a video game. And I absolutely do adore that. That's my complete bias. I have never beat the story, but even Rockstar is known for telling good stories as well. So on top of a world that is so thoroughly engrossing like this, you do have a pretty decent story on top of that as well. The online mode is where I end up spending most of my time, but awkwardly probably the least enjoyable part of the game. You've been thinking about getting it? It's on sale at the moment. I don't know how much it costs. I think it's 20 US at the moment. It's a long game. For 20 US, I think you're getting about 50 cents an hour if you play the story. It's about a 30-40 hour game, I think. There's a lot to do. And that depends how quickly you play the game, too. You could probably do it a lot quicker than that, but... Headed to the theatre, but you're well. How far do you have to go to the theatre? I'm kind of just sat here in the edge of the road, but... I really should be out seeking something to do. We were looking for the sheriff's station. The chapel didn't have anyone in there. I'm not sure if there are any sheriffs online at the moment, but... Nor do I even know where it is. Maybe we should get like a bit of an inkling of where to go, shall we? So... My mouse cursor disappeared again. That is the telephone. You've got the Supreme Courthouse, the bank. That's good to know. The bank is across the road from the courthouse, if I need to go there. There's another telephone. Pascal Printing. I don't know what that is. Telegram station. Note collector, animal lover. I went to go... That's the thing I went to go find before. No idea what it was. I don't see a sheriff's station, though. Is there no sheriff's station in Saint Denis? There's a courthouse. An hour 10 to get there. I did kind of just infer you were on foot. I don't know if you wrote something that made me think you were on foot, but... It's a hospital, a telephone. There might be someone at the hospital. Hospital is next to Pascal Printing, down the road from the bank and the Supreme Courthouse. There's also a gunsmith next to Pascal Printing. And all of that... Got the roundabout there. I do sort of... They've turned off the map in the game mode, but you still have the regular map. I don't know if regular map is frowned upon, but map knowledge is probably something... I do have map knowledge, but I don't have server knowledge. I know how to get around Saint Denis, I just don't know where the sheriff's office is. In a car, an hour in a car. That's a fair travel. You could cross state borders in an hour in some places. I will say, Wobbler, if you are thinking of getting it, this is not what it runs like. It runs beautifully. I dare say you'd have a better computer than I do, but at the moment we're having tech issues because we're playing in a server, an online server, and there's just a lot of problems that come with that, apparently. It's not super bad, I hope, but it definitely runs better than this. However, streaming it can have its own issues as well, separate to the online experience. You do cross state borders? Hello. Some things don't change. The stables are right there. They're all labeled too. I wonder what these factories are making. Hello. I haven't been putting on any kind of accent at the moment. I had a slight twang. I don't really know what my character sounds like, to be quite brutally honest. I'm not... See, that's the catch-22 I've put myself in. I'm not local. I can't sound like I've got the Western twang because I'm not from here. I came off a boat. I'm a stranger. I don't know these people, perhaps. But look, let's not overdo it. I'll just be me, and I'll be someone from overseas. Ambiguously. I don't know how ambiguous that needs to be, but it works. I don't have to put on a Western accent if I'm not local, because I am not Western. Easy. Watched a couple of people playing it, yourself included, got nervous that there was so much to remember. It's a bit more... Did you remember when you played Kingdom Hearts? It's probably closer to Kingdom Hearts. It's lots of cutscenes and story stuff to remember, but there's not a whole lot mechanically to remember in the game. Most of the buttons you need to press will pop up in the bottom right. So when you walk up to a door, it might say open or knock or something. Stuff like that, but it will always tell you which buttons you can press. I suppose the ones it doesn't tell you are the combat. I'll be talking normally. Claudette. I gave her a very kind of stereotypical name. I thought about backing out from Claudette, but I've already named the character and I have to delete and start from scratch to make the name different, I think. But it was Claudette Harrison. Which isn't a very British sounding name, so again, we're just gonna be not from here ambiguously, because I really haven't decided who I am. I mean, I know what happens from this point on. I know what character I want to play, but it's like, I came from farmland, which, you know, there's plenty of other places that had farmland, but I'm clearly not a rancher, perhaps. I've got not bad outfit on. I don't look impoverished. $100 to my name as well isn't too bad. So small details like that I can use to help build my character's history. We found the... So here's the roundabout. The town square, or the town circle. But my idea was... Claudette has worked with her hands before. She grew up on a farm. I just don't know what type of farm. And that's basically it. She's grown up, she's left home, and she's gotta go see the world, Dad. Ugh.
Hello.
So she got on a boat to America. If I just ignore the rest of the finer details, then I don't have to think about them unless I'm pressed, right? So if no one ever asks me where I'm from, I don't have to worry. That's how that works, right? I can just not think up a backstory. Or I'll be put on the spot and have to actually crunch and think of something on the fly. Which is why I should pre-plan it and figure something out, because that way I'll have my cover story ready to go and pressed on it. Although so far I've not ran into a single person in Saint Denis.
Hello.
Hello. There's a coffee house! Oh! Okay. Look, you know where my brain's at. No. I can't go in the coffee house. A goat farm! Well, they had sheep in Britain, didn't they? There would have been some kind of wool industry in England. Stuff like that, gotta be careful of. Wait, so we're back at the chapel. If we're back at the chapel, that means we gotta go a block this way then.
Hola, señorita.
I do wish there is a tiny part of me that wishes I could get the NPC walk speed. Because NPCs walk at half the pace you do. A dairy farm! Wait. No. Yeah, no, I'm being ridiculous. Of course they had dairy farms. The British just never had cheese or butter, Brain said. But no, I imagine dairy farms more of like ranching. But it looks different, I suppose, over there as opposed to here. Because I haven't been on a ranch, I've never been a cattle farmer, was my idea. But I suppose that's still an option then. Dairy farm. Could have kept chickens and sheep or something too. But that's the basics. I have worked on a farm with my family. Now I'm trying to find my own place in the world and decided that should be overseas.
How you doing today?
Fresh produce. I don't see anything that resembles a courthouse. So maybe I wasn't. Hang on.
Hello?
Hello. I actually am a little lost. I don't need my way around, but hello. Everyone's saying hello. So that's the butcher. That's the butcher and the grocery store. Hang on, let me get some bread. Before they close. Have they got a proper jog in here? No, it's a sprint. At least my regular hotkeys work for cancelling and going into sprint. I do wish the game had a jog. There's no jog key. Alright. Are you open? I need some bread. I can buy flour and yeast. What does that cost? Oh, that is cheaper than bread. For less than 50 cents, I might be able to make my own bread. We'll buy 2 of each. And a loaf of bread. Easy. Now, I don't know... I've got a cookbook. That's the craft book. That's the cookbook. Food, fish. Cooked stringy meat, 10 seconds. Can I get bread? Baked potato, there's so much here. Bird meat. Food and fish. Okay, so in reality, you need eggs and milk still, don't you? For bread, you need eggs. Tells you what you need. Raw stringy meat. Fried goose eggs, fried vulture eggs, fried gator eggs. Maybe I should go buy a potato and cook a potato. I don't actually know if I can craft, though, because I don't have a fire to cook anything. Fried egg, duck, cooked crab, cooked pork. I don't see anything for bread. What about crafting? I can craft a campfire. That's good to know. Alright, sir. What about potatoes? Bread, candy, cigars, cheese. Do you have any green goods? There is a green goods shop somewhere else down the road, isn't there? I think the green goods guy is in the central market area. Hello. Have a talk to the butcher. Sell a carcass for money? I don't have any. Saint Denis, mission hunt perch. Reward $18. Get my frames back here, it's running a little sluggish. Sell a carcass for provision. Is that... Can you not buy meat from the butcher? Right. So, my memory of the town layout is that I should go down here, and there should be a courthouse.
Have a lovely evening, ma'am.
Is it the water that's making my frames go that bad? I stepped over that crate again, didn't I?
Enjoy the night, miss.
Well, at least we got a day out on the town. Reflections aren't doing too good. Ooh, is that the courthouse over there?
Good evening, ma'am.
It's running so bad.
Back again. And you? For a grand reopening, I assume.
Ta-da! Uh-oh. The narrator just gave up. He didn't want to say anything today. Thank you so much for the sub, Jonathan. I really do appreciate that. 17 months in a row, too. The Saint Denis Pharmacy. So this is the doctor's office. Oh, the knock took a little while to kick in, apparently. I have another grand reopening. But of your box with pizza in it. What type of pizza? I really... This is the curse. I didn't eat last night. And now I've started stream without having anything for breakfast. I'm gonna make myself hungry. Really quickly. Really soon, aren't I? Is that... That's got the fancy little dome on top, but is that the courthouse? Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little and look at the map here again, because I don't know. We passed the courthouse at some point on this road. No, we didn't. Hang on. Ah! There's like a triangle intersection here. I see! I see. Okay, so my mistake. We passed the butcher, we know that. We came along here, and I thought the courthouse was here. No, that's Pasco Printing and the gunsmith. What I should have done is gone past the butcher, and because it's a triangular 5-way intersection, or 4-way? 4-way, it's like a weird cross-junction. Because it's just awkward. The courthouse and the bank are over here, which are at a 90-degree angle to the road I was on. That's so bizarre. Oh my lord, I'm seeing on my phone, we're getting some horrible frame drops at the moment. It was running so good! What happened? What went wrong? The game was running so well. Oh, you know what I do need to do? Is double check all the settings actually changed since it crashed. It's just an asset streaming issue. I don't know why, but you have to tab out in order to get anything to load. It baffles me. I want to know what makes this program tick, because it doesn't make sense when it doesn't tick. Like this, it's just not loading the menu. If I tab out, there's the menu. I don't get it. But weirdly, when I tab out, I don't get my cursor back. Brass level of detail. Water physics quality, water reflection quality can be low. Water refraction quality can be low. Grass shadows should not... No shadows should be ultra. Thank you very much. Far volumetric can be medium. It's far away. That. Water volumetrics, mirror. Reflection quality is low. I might bump that to me. I don't know. That's probably a CPU thing, isn't it? We're not running out of CPU. That's what even baffles me more, is this isn't a resource issue like most games are. Most games I run hemorrhage frames because it's CPU choking the system. This has CPU to spare. It just runs. Doesn't run with OBS open. Alright. Still not great. I haven't run into anyone. We spent a whole day in Saint Denis. Now. The gunsmith. So we got the printery here, right? There's even the sign. Pascal book job card and printing. Probably closed, aren't they? So. Oh, there's printing. Pascal printing. Hello. Gunsmith was just over here. I don't think I want any kind of... Oh, is this actually the this is the gun store. I know this place. Hello. You're not the guy that runs this place. I'm not complaining. I'm just was expecting someone else. Alright. I don't particularly know if I want a weapon. I think I'm going to force myself to not have a weapon on purpose for the first few chapters of the story. I also... There we go. A bow! There you go. A bow might be my kind of thing. $7. A fishing rod for $10. Perhaps when we get to Blackwater we might try a hand of fishing. It's kind of running tone. We're sort of almost at a stable frame rate. Not even close, let's be honest. I'm gonna cut my losses. We're getting rid of the overlays today. We are just gonna try bare bones only gameplay. Because it's super running well. I am suddenly very self-conscious about that icon there. They asked to have it on there, but they say you're an ambassador for the survey, and I should probably just put a disclaimer in the title. This is not what... or the server. For some reason, it's OBS, and I don't know why. I'm also not on their streamer list, though, I don't think. So, unless anyone searches for me by title, they won't find me. Thankfully, because this is a horror show at the moment. We'll make it a little... the icon's still there. That'd work. I do wish they had one that was right... if they had one that was centered on the right... So, obviously if I flip it, the words are flipped too. But it would be really cool to have one that had the guy... so I could move it over... let me visually show you. So I can move it over here. No reason why I can't, but... the guy's on the left, so it goes on the left. $7 for a bow. Did you know I spent more on this coat than on that bow? It's the basic hunting bow, though. What else do we have? How do I buy it? I bought it. More accidentally than anything, admittedly. Did I buy it? I don't know how to go back. This is probably my biggest hiccup here with playing the online server like this, is that half the key bindings are eluding... Oh! Oh! Hang on. Wait. Hang on. I opened that by clicking and dragging. Wait. Okay. I open it by clicking and dragging. But I can't turn the pages by clicking and dragging. I am so confused. So how do I turn the pages? My stream completely locked up on my phone. Right as I made that awesome discovery about turning the page with the cursor. But then it doesn't. Then it breaks. It goes without saying, if I do buy a rifle, it's going to be the Lancaster. Just because it's the Henry. You can't tell me the Henry isn't worth it. It's... I need to check Discord. Double prone, point, loading wheel is that. Ragdoll, voice range, hands up, clear status, set status. Emotes menu is slash emotes, dancing is dance. Gun tricks, dice roll. Where was it that I saw? Didn't they have a piece somewhere for how to navigate books? Sorry, getting distracted. There is a bit to learn with Red Dead. It's not complicated, but there's just a lot to do. There's so many things you can get distracted by. But at its core, it's more or less just a cutscene-y... It's a cutscene story-driven game if you play the story mode. The online is a bit more aimless. Just sort of do what you want. Fine. But the story mode, it'll direct you. So when you do a quest, it'll say, go here, talk to this person. And you get little yellow icons on the map that you have to go track down to do more story. There's not a whole lot you have to really remember, but it's just there's so much you can do that if you do go out of your way to go hunting or fishing, then that's when things sort of get, like, button heavy, I suppose. I can't find anything on how to navigate the pages here, so I don't even know if I bought the... I don't... It's so weird. You have that beautiful design of click and drag, and it just doesn't work. So, I think I bought 2 bows. Yeah, I just saw my money go down. And I realized, yeah, I bought 2 bows. Look, that's fine. We didn't need 1 bow. 2 bows is better. We can shoot twice as fast. How that works. Welcome in, Tequila. Evans is fast and cheap bullets. Look, I'm biased because it's the Henry repeater. So, it don't matter if it isn't cheap, and if it didn't have a lot of bullets. Well, that was the one thing the Henry had, was because it's the 44. It's the, what is it? The 44 Henry, what do they call those ones? Rimfire. It's a 44 Henry rimfire round. And because that's so short, that's why it has so many bullets. But it, you know, that's me because I like Henry. Oh, now speaking of, apparently there is a risk that voice chat might be global, so I have to go in here and at least change my microphone to something that isn't gonna... a little bit of noise. Hang on. Off. There you go. Microphone off. That's way easier than changing device. And it's still a single switch, which is all I'm looking for, is a 1-button on-off. Ooh. So, now, that's the gun shop. Oh no, are we still buffering? It's running better again. It's weird, it's like dawn and dusk are the worst times for frame rate. But again, it doesn't make sense. Nighttime it's sat here at 28 FPS, which is actually almost okay. We're almost at 30. 24 is usually my cutoff, but I'm being annoyingly persistent today just to see how it goes. And because I really want to play, I really want to do it. This server and this whole game, RedM, all of this has been something I've wanted to do for years, and I've never pushed the button and just done it. And now I have. I've got a character, I've got a story, I've got a role. It's all very bare bones, but at least it's there. But it runs horribly. It's like, everything is finally going my way, except I can't stream it. And judging by the fact I haven't heard a single train in Saint Denis, I know there's a ticket booth, so maybe I can summon a train by buying a ticket. But not having heard a single train the whole day makes me a little cautious that I don't think there's one that natively occurs. So there's the courthouse. You think anyone's in the courthouse? Which means that that's the bank. It's probably closed. It looks like the courthouse is all locked up. Is the courthouse even open to public? Or perhaps it is. Story mode would be way better, because story mode teaches you how to... Story mode teaches you how to play a lot of the game. You get missions that are dedicated to learning how to hunt, and you get missions dedicated to learning how to fish, how to ride a horse. There's a lot of stuff in the story that will help you out. Apparently it's midnight. Is anyone here? Hello? God, look at the frames. I keep tabbing out because that brings the frames back up. I keep apologizing, but I genuinely don't know why it runs so horribly. If I tab out, I am currently tabbed out. I am not in the game. I can even type a message. Hello from the future / past. Hit enter. That whole time, I am not in the game, and it's 30 FPS on the capture. This is the... I do not understand. The game runs buttery smooth. I can play the game on Ultra, but the moment I open OBS and tab back into the game, I'm not capturing the game. I'm not capturing full screen program. I am desktop capturing, which is why you can see my start menu when I open it. Because I'm trying to do as little directly with the game as possible. And it still hates me. You shouldn't be having... If you do get the game, Warbler, you won't have this many issues, trust me. Even the regular game runs perfectly fine for me. It's just the servers, for some reason, have this hiccup where it doesn't capture. I don't know why. You're more like the Evans rifle. I haven't used the Evans rifle. Not having bought one in this game mode. They're pretty expensive, actually, in the online. The regular online, they're very expensive. Alright, well, I do have to tab back in at some point, so goodbye, frames. Like... And... you know... I don't know why. It's not like the game can't capture properly, it just doesn't want to. It's temperamental. It decides how well it captures, and it decides it doesn't want to. Oh, that's a little awkward. It's supposed to be one of them custom buildings, perhaps. Hello? You know when the next train's in town? I don't feel like I'm meant to be in here. Oh, I thought I was locked in for a second. I thought I was locked in. Okay. I had to press E. I actually almost panicked, thinking I'd been locked in the courthouse overnight. So. Is that a tram? Oh, that's a little tram stop. Okay. Let's see if we can't get a train ticket. I know there's a way to do it, because there's an icon for it on the map.
Hello, madam.
Hello. There's something else I actually want to kind of science too. I don't know if these guys speak client side or server side. Like, I'll explain my question probably a bit better. If I'm standing here, that guy said hello. But if I'm standing here and someone over there walks past those two people, will I hear those two people say hello? Or will only the other person hear it? If NPCs talk out loud in everyone's game, then me replying to them won't sound insane. But I am a little paranoid about replying to NPCs at the moment because I don't want to sound insane. Now, I know where the post office is. In fact, it's actually right there. Right next to the roundabout. There's no way they called them roundabouts back in the 1890s. Maybe they did. Maybe there's some weird genealogy to the phrase where it's a very roundabout way to go in a straight line. God, I've got the worst jokes. It's not running too bad, despite my phone dropping out entirely. I can't see it on my phone anymore, but it says it's running okay. And from what I can tell, OBS isn't lying too horribly with that number. for FPS on the capture rate, which is nice. I don't think I can go in. Let's mutter to myself out loud a little bit here. Is that a train? Is there actually a train in? Wait, is there a train? It's like a freight train. Can I get a ticket for it? So, where did I see the ticket booth? Ticket booth. That could be just as well for a boat as for a train. It's in the dockyards. But I'll take it. This is my 4th day in Saint Denis. I'm gonna have to move on at some point. And I haven't found anyone here to help me on my way, so we're gonna see if we can catch a train to Blackwater.
I hear young Pushhair's son does not have his father's eyes. No!
Ooh. Are you the ticket man? Hello? Do we not have a cigarette? We don't have a cigarette. The bottle it is. Oh no! I'm afraid the bench is backwards. Quite awkward. Prop human seat chair. Prop human seat chair. Porch. Oh, we do have a smoking. It's still backwards. I can't use this bench. Alright, well, that was quite awkward. Can I get a ticket? No one there. Do I genuinely have to wait till morning again? We just spent the whole day in Saint Denis to finally cave and come get a ticket, and there's no night ticket? There's no night train? I mean, it's my fault. But I'm gonna sit here and pout for a bit. Can I walk with this? I am stuck in the pause menu. Oh, does that not infinitely loop? I was looking for a cross arms kind of thing. Cross arms might be a reaction. No. Beg mercy, hurl. There are so many emotes. Hello! Welcome in. I feel like every new name I'm gonna see in chat is just automatically coming with an apology for the frame rate because it is, I'm being annoying and I'm not switching back to the base game because the base game runs fine. RedM does not run fine. RedM does not run fine at all for some reason. Unless I'm tapped out, which you might be seeing at the moment. But I hope you're having a good day. I am currently looking up key bindings to cross my arms because I've lost it. Is it just cross arms? Vomit? Wait, women can't vomit. Okay. Women can't clipboard, trumpet. Women can't vomit while kneeling. Women can't put hand on waist. Or broom. I'm immune to the broom. Hand counter 2. Sleep? Playground? Can I lie on the bench? No, it's backwards. I mean, hey, it's backwards, right? But if I'm lying down on the bench. Nod crossed. Happy to see you. Notebook. Sit ground. SMH is an emote. I can't just cross my arms. I can nod crossed. So there we go. One thing, no loop. Can I lie down on the bench while I wait for the ticket man to show up? Apparently not. There we go. Generic bench scenario? Nope. Alright. So, the next best thing is going to be trying to do something awkward. Let me get these emotes back up. I could ragdoll onto it. Look, as far as I'm aware, no one else is around, so... No, that didn't work. What if I ragdoll into it? Nope, I can't seem to get my leg up over the thing. So then... Invalid emote. Oh, so Playground 1 was it? Playground 2? That is... How do I cancel? To cancel an emote, use EC. Claudette is homeless. Yes. And very lost with no one to talk to at the moment. I can't even sleep on the bench. I just gotta sort of like paddle on the floor. It's probably not a good look, is it? Ooh, Ooh, ooh. Ooh, I'm on the bench. Okay. Did that do it? Hang on, we're gonna be stuck in the wall now. No! I gotta face away. Hang on. Oh, this is just because I want to wait for the ticket man who isn't here. I can do this. I can pull off a super jank, very poor emote to sleep on a bench. No, I can't. I'm phasing through it. Am I not phasing through it? Let's go! I am kind of awkwardly hovering on the bench. I have great lumbar. I do a lot of pull-ups. How long is this ticket meant? Can you get a ticket? It's actually sunrise. At least we managed to keep ourselves entertained until sunrise, but... Not great, but you get the idea. If you walked past, hey, this makes sense at a glance, right? I would just have to be kind of glad that no one's accidentally run into me yet. And if we buy a ticket, we can skip Saint Denis. We've got 39 people in the lobby at the moment. A couple of them in-game, so... How's the stream running? I've got Discord up at the moment.
Did you hear? Another train fell off the track not even last week.
It almost works. The emote almost works.
Hi there.
If... Hang on. Hang on.
All the best.
So if I do that... Right, so I can abuse first person here. Oh, I'm gonna have my head against the wall, aren't I? Let's just hope it's not in the wall. Right. How does this look? Better! There you go! I can abuse first person to switch my camera angle. Because like, first person forces your character to look that way. Still not a great, super great emote, but hey. Better than nothing. The sun's almost up. I wasn't actually expecting to be role-playing a homeless person, but... I suppose that's the result of me not knowing how to buy a house or rent a hotel. I tried renting a place in that fancy French hotel, but they said I couldn't afford it. There's a hotel right across the train tracks, too. So if I'm using sleep 2, is there a sleep 1? No. Lay ground 1, lay ground 2, sit ledge, sleep 2. Is there no sleep 1? I could try a sleep 1, I suppose. Nope. Sun's up.
Hey, you ass. Hi.
Ticket guy isn't in yet.
More folks want this job if you don't.
Job? You said job? Did you say job? Job? Not that poor yet, but... Well. Freebie's a freebie. Ticket booth. Are you telling me that's the wrong ticket booth? Why can't I enter it? This is not the ticket I was hoping for. Can we get to Blackwater from here? Hello? You know, I remember where the fast travel point is here in Saint Denis, so I could just run off and... How likely do you think I am to die swimming back? Do you think they put dangerous things in the water? Tugboat. That's a whole champagne bottle. Can I drive the boat? No, there's no way. There is no way they made this boat drivable. Not in the server or in the game. Alright. Well, that was a ticket. So, here's something else too. So the map loads, and then we click the map on again. Right here, it's behind the ticket booth. Now I know that that's the ticket booth. I don't like using the map like that, but I shouldn't. There's nothing here anyway. It's like an icon on the map that I don't know. It's like a collector thing, it says. Unless that's a quirk from the solo game. Is the ticket guy here? I might double check my in-game mic is disabled too, because apparently that can be global. So, the fast travel station is all the way down there next to the stables, I think. Is it running, like, so genuinely, is this horrible to watch? Because I will switch back to the regular game mode if this is too hard. Is that a workbench? Like an actual workbench? No, that's like some sort of weird workbench. It seems like sunrise and sunset are the two worst times a day. You so taint... What is the daily news? What do we have? Money in the... With... It's about a train. Train... Okay. Not that bad. I'll live with it until someone says it's horrible and they can't watch. The moment I see that, I'll switch. You sell train tickets. Oh, he's not here. Right. My next port of call is going to be the fast travel station I know from the regular game, which I don't expect to function or to be there. But I don't really have any other idea where to go. I am genuine, like, unless I just blatantly... I mean, I could go to the stables and buy a horse. I've got enough money for a horse. Maybe that's the next port of call. If we can't find a ticket, we can't find the sheriff, we can't find anyone in the courthouse. Telegraph and cable office. It looks like it opens, actually. Alright, we know where the stables is. Let's see if the fast travel point is here. Because here's the actual train station place. There is a train here, but there's no engine. And I think they've removed the fast travel point. By the looks of it. Because it's here. So, to the stables it is. We'll write off all the money we landed with as money to buy a horse when we got here. You know, actually, hang on. I don't need a keeper. If they've balanced the economy out pretty well, I should be able to get a horse for around $5. Just a cheap mongrel. I don't need a thoroughbred or a keeper of any kind. I just need a mongrel. When you play the story, there's actually people in the story that talk about the good horses, the expensive horses costing you over $10. Could you imagine buying a car for $10? Not working. I'm not putting typos in, I don't think. Hello? Oh, this is the first time I've been in here. Are you not selling horses? Are you selling horses? Circle is. But we'll pretend it's him. I don't own a horse, do I? No. Buy a horse. Please wait, the menu is loading. So, you can get a mongrel. There's a standard bred, American, exotic breeds, There's obviously cheaper horses and expensive horses, but it looks like they don't have the cheap mongrel in this server. The other server I was on, they had some mongrel horses, which I guess were just random generated ones. Let's have a look. It's so weird to think you could buy a whole horse for $10. God, the Shire horse is massive! Look at him! Look at him! Oh. Scroll is my weapon wheel. I gotta unbind that. Tennessee Walker. Do we have any, Hardy? Are they paint horse? Maybe. Let's have a look. Okay, so these are a little more expensive. But that could be because of the breed. So let's find one that's probably not going to be so expensive. That's more expensive. Well, if I wasn't playing in the roleplay server, then yes, you can steal horses. You can walk up to any horse and just say, "This is mine now." But that would probably get me in a lot of trouble. Is there anything cheaper than 80? Standard bread? 70. 50! Let's go. Okay, so we can get... I do like that. That tone is actually really nice. I can get a flat black for 50. I'll get something different. I'd like the light buck. You got a buck skin, which has got a darker head and neck, darker feet. But I really like the lighter tone. Look, I said we're gonna not buy a keeper here. It's $50. That's half of my money. But if I buy something I don't mind, then that's still good if I end up keeping it. Stinky 2.0. Let's find out how much Stinky would cost. What would Stinky cost? Stinky would cost me $20. Wow, I would have just spent 50 if you hadn't done that and I did this on a whim. If I hadn't just completely randomly gone down and checked Kentucky Saddler, I could have spent over double this. Right. Thank you, Tone. I can get Stinky 2.0. What would we name our horse? Do we have to name them? I haven't even thought of a name. Other horses. Oh, there you go. Mengi. Look, there's all the cheap breeds I saw in the other server. You got the Mengi Tennessee Walker for the same price as the other one. They must have worse stats. Surprisingly, no, they have better stats. I can get a donkey. As an emaciated Tennessee Walker, my horse can be hungry by design. That sounds horrible. Red chestnut. Suffolk. What's a Breton cost? Am I allowed to say I want to own a Breton? I'm allowed to say that in this game. I'm not allowed to say that in the Elder Scrolls. What on earth is that undertone color? It's both gorgeous and doesn't look natural. Oh, that's pretty. I wish I could search. It would be really cool to be able to just search for anything with dapple in the name. So a Shire horse costs 30, and they are massive. Alright, I'm actually like window shopping at the moment. That's an expensive horse. Right, so $100, $80 is expensive. What's a Morgan cost? 50? I would love to find something with dapple in the name, but... let's stick with the Tennessee Walker. No. Wait. Tennessee Walker? Which one? Kentucky Saddler. That's what Stinky is. Stinky's a Kentucky Saddler. And we can get a Chestnut Pinto, actually looks kind of nice. Silver Bay. That is such a bad name. But I have my reasons for wanting to pick that name. Should I get a do the stats actually change? So 21432. 21432. Okay, so it doesn't actually change whether or not you get a stallion or a mare. And they look identical. Is that it? Is the only difference that one has a bloody nutsack? There's no difference except you get to stare at a nutsack if you buy the mare, if you buy the stallion. I mean, I was gonna pick the stallion, but now I said that sentence out loud, I'm reconsidering. I was gonna get the stallion, and then I said that sentence, and now I'm just like, well, if that's the only difference, why would I... I don't... There's no stat difference. So, okay, to explain why I was gonna get the stallion, I thought it because it'd have more courage. Be more mild-tempered, perhaps? I don't know. There was like... there was a train of logic. But I don't know. Perhaps. Oh, wait, that had different numbers. The buttermilk buckskin has 22433. This is 214 or something, but it's not showing me anymore. 21432. That's 22433 if we go up to the buckskin here for the same price. 21432. Is that is that not correct? Okay, well, no, we have to go with... we have to get a mare, because I'm naming it Arizona. I will not elaborate. I bought a horse! Okay. Hello. Kill horse for 10, sell horse for 12. Select horse. Main horse selected. Arizona. So, I'm gonna need a saddle. Saddle for 10. Is there anything cheaper than a 10? Looks like a saddle and tack cost you 10. Alright then, let's pick a saddle. That's not a bad saddle. I'm not gonna overshop, we're just gonna get that. What's a stirrup? Do I need that? Can I not just keep the regular? Bedrolls, simple used. $5 for a bedroll. I might need one. Blankets. That goes underneath the saddle, doesn't it? Don't need a blanket. Horns will be fine. We can customize the mane.
How you been? Doing pretty well.
Saddlebags.
Hello.
Put a saddlebag on. I don't know if that's functional, but I like it. Shoes? Horse shoes? A lucky horseshoe. No, I don't think I need to spend $10 on a lucky horseshoe. Lantern, holster, bridles, masks, mustaches? I can put a mustache on my horse? Oh, it's like actual facial hair. Good lord. Variant 3 is no bridle. You don't need to customize that. We may not be keeping the horse for now. A holster. Okay, we may not need it for now. We don't have a weapon. But that's the thing. Is like now my plan is to buy a horse and head down to Blackwater on my own. So now that that's my plan, perhaps buying myself a rifle wouldn't be the worst. I don't remember how to get to the shop.
Pleasant morning, ma'am.
Hey! Hold on. Where's your saddle? There it is. Oh, ew. The horse is camera relative. I should have said hello to you before I jumped on, shouldn't I? I don't even think I have anything to feed you. We're gonna have to find you an apple before we leave. Maybe a couple of apples. So, what was I planning to do? Horse relative. I need to fix that setting. Rifle, what's the next thing? So, keyboard and mouse, horse control, horse relative, horse relative. App assist. That'll do. I thought there was another setting I needed to change, but... Okay, now, all I have to do is hold W, and it's like a boat in Valheim. That will be something that'll be awfully confusing, Warbler. When you first get a horse in this game, it's super awkward because you're used to moving in the way your camera points. But the horses work like boats. And you turn them the same by using A and D. Otherwise they would just go forward. But that's the best, well, that's by default. You can change it. What I had before and what I just changed was that it was walking where the camera was pointed. So it's an option you can switch if you prefer it to just move where you want the camera facing. But I prefer the boats in Valheim are so addicting. I prefer that method to the horses here.
Morning.
Right.
Stop carrying on like the devil himself.
So,
Ain't the first time, won't be the last.
well, I beg your pardon. I actually don't know if spitting was a sign of disrespect at this time, or if it was just habit at this point in time. Oh, good lord, the frames are so bad. We have $60 left. The Lancaster cost us... What does the Lancaster cost us? 14? I have horse XP. That's not something I expected to see. Horse XP plus 5. I'm getting peckish again. We are actually going to have to head to the greengrocers because I need to buy an apple for Arizona here. And I need to get myself some food to eat all of my lonesome. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? It's Red Rock, but it's sort of running. I really hate that OBS and Red Dead don't talk properly. Like, this is running worse than the base game, but even the base game has issues. But because the base game has issues, they're compounded by RedM. For some reason, RedM doesn't like... Look, this is running infinitely better than the last time I tried streaming it. So, if you... I'm capturing desktop because the less things that touch... Let me get out of that. The less things that seem to touch Red Dead Redemption, the better it runs. So if OBS doesn't capture full screen program or specific program at all, and instead just captures my desktop, then it runs okay. I found out that certain atmospheric effects, probably the dust is not the best, but sunset and sunrise are one of the two of the worst times for frames. During the nighttime, it skyrockets. We get smooth 30s. During the daytime, it's usually 20s. And yes, being in Saint Denis probably doesn't help, and neither does this dust.
So you get along okay?
It has to be small things here and there that are not helping, but generally speaking, I hope it's at least viewable. You okay?
Hello there.
Hello? I hope it's at least viewable, because I really want to try and push through. I didn't notice too much of a difference on Vulkan, but at the same time I did switch back to DirectX 12. To be fair, an hour ago it was pretty okay, then we crashed and it went back to DirectX 12 on reboot, didn't it? So, I'll stick with Vulkan for like a week and see if we'll stick with Vulkan for today. We'll stick with Vulkan. Full stop. Don't quantify it. Give it a try. It may be better, it may not be better. But the thing that annoys me the most is that if I tab out, it's 30 FPS and everything works perfectly fine. It's only while I'm tabbed in. So, I'll even show you. It really does suck that the auto walk plugin they've got here doesn't work super well when you tab out. It seems to require you to be tabbed in, which is fine. That's how I'm mostly going to be using it, but when it comes to showing you the frame rate smoothing over, We will have to restart to change the API, but hey. The game pushes itself to basically flat ultra. F8... Hang on. What does F8 do? Because I think F8 is my pause key. I threw it on F8 because I was like, I'll never press that. No, right control is my pause key. Okay, we're good. F8. Weesh. Okay. Did I break it? Okay, I can toggle. You can bring in an FPS counter so you can see what you're getting. OBS is telling me what's capturing, because the key factor is that what I see and what you see are entirely different things. Unless I tab out, then both of us see silky smooth frames. But right now the game's running at like 60 FPS. It's just capturing 20 of those. So the game, I mean, I could prove I'm capturing 60 FPS, I suppose. It's like 60 dipping to 30, averaging 40. But it's definitely a lot better than what you're getting. Anyway, since we're making the trip, I've decided we're gonna go get a horse. Oh, do you know much about Red Rock, Chris? Because I have one confusing question that I can't figure out. There's this beautiful shop system where you can click and drag the book. And my question is, why does that only work to open it and never again? Because I can't figure out how to see the other weapons. I can't click and drag, it just highlights text when I click and drag. I can't use left and right, Q and E do nothing. And I can't find anything on their server that has to do with changing pages. The click and drag thing just doesn't seem to work once you open the book. Maybe try dropping the filtering from 16 to 8. You should... This is what's so annoying. You should see the game run when OBS is closed. Especially at these settings I drop it down to, it skyrockets to like 200 FPS the moment I close OBS. It is distinctly, horribly something to do with the... Like, the game runs fine. The server runs fine. I can connect and play the game beautifully. I tested last night when I made the character. It runs amazingly, and I was testing on Ultra last night because that's what the game set me to. And it was just gorgeous. It was just a beautiful time. The moment I open OBS, the game still runs okay. Like I said, averaging like 40 FPS at the moment. But it only captures 20. It is distinctly something to do with the communication between Red Dead and OBS. The game runs fine. I'm not even overloading CPU. It's one of the few games I can play that doesn't press my CPU stressed out. And if I tab out, it's beautiful. But I tried with Streamlabs, I tried with OBS Studio, and I tried with Twitch Studio, and all three of them had the same issue, where the moment anything captured Red Dead, and it's not just OBS to be fair, even Discord stream capture, game capture, or desktop capture, Discord does the same thing. The moment it captures anything, the game just... I got beeped at. Triple filtering is off. I got a TeamSpeak beep. I'm not sure why I got a TeamSpeak beep. It's not meant to beep at me. But it beeped at me. Alright, top of the pages. Thank you so much. Okay. I mean, changing pages is irrelevant because I know I want the Henry. But yes, we'll give a cursory glance to some of the graphics settings because for some reason Vulkan at half... Now there's something I can actually test. Vulkan at half VSync was like almost 30 FPS. So let's try DirectX 12 with no VSync. TeamSpeak beep happens when you get a whisper. I'm gonna check whispers. It wasn't it was like a doo-doo. I haven't checked my salty chat settings, so I hope I've got everything right. There was a way to check whispers, but I don't see it in the program. Whisper history? Nothing. I don't know. Some servers use whisper system for chat. Oh, it could have just been a message, you think? Well, I'm gonna just remain clueless and continue on if it doesn't keep happening. Alright, so I tab out with VSync off, 30. Tab back in with VSync off, 18. Let's go back to half VSync with DirectX 12. We're immediately in our 20s, so half VSync seems to be the way to go. Triple buffering is off. What about VSync on? That's down to 10. Half VSync seems to be the way to go. Because the moment I hit that, we're back up to 20s. Ooh, 15. 17. Half is the way to go. What about low latency? 6. 11. Back off. Triple buffering is off. Pause. Constrain mouse pointer. I mean, 8's not bad, but generally speaking, the game doesn't seem to mind whether these are on medium or ultra. The only thing that changes when you turn these settings up is that the asset streaming issue gets compoundingly worse. Until you tab out, then it loads lightning quick. And super annoyingly so. While shadow quality can go down, things far away don't need to be high quality. Screen space, ambient occlusion. Probably don't need ambient occlusion. It says Vulkan, but I haven't reboot, so we're not on Vulkan. We're on DirectX 12 at the moment. Volumetric lighting. Soft shadows could probably go to medium. I turned all the water down because I noticed I was dropping more frames near water. But I'm like, as far as any correlation between these settings and performance, I used to run it on low. And it's still hemorrhage frames, but I can at least do what I can to try and find some correlation. Half VSync weirdly seems to be the only thing I can find a definitive boost. Now, I don't know, can I get a... How do I... Alright, it's in my backpack, but it's not on my shoulder. Do I need to buy a shoulder strap? I don't think I remember an accessories tab. Oh, right. Hey, genius. You probably need some ammo for your repeater. How much was that? I almost walked out of the shop without buying a single bullet for my rifle. I mean, hey, look. Besides NPCs never calling your bluff, or always calling your bluff, rather, I could have used an empty repeater to get myself out of a situation. Although, the other part of the game that always calls your bluff are animals, and they're a lot more dangerous than people. At least thank you so much for telling me how to actually move the book around, though. I accidentally bought 2 bows, don't comment on that. But, oh, the shovel! You can buy the shovel in the base game, and I genuinely forget why you would need it. But it's like part of the collector's group thing. Did they actually fix the lantern? Is it no longer kerosene? They've crossed out electric and put new. Have they actually fixed the lantern so it's no longer electric? Because that bugs me genuinely bugs me to no end that I have a handheld electric lantern in 1898 in the base game. Should be kerosene. I'm buying it just because it might actually be electric. Alright. He doesn't mind I test it in the shop, right? Oh, equipping it doesn't... Ignore the rat. Right. So I've got a bow and a rifle and a lantern. And the lantern's actually kerosene! Look at that! Alright, so my regular hotkeys now work, right? Yes. I've got the back on 4, because that's normally my shotgun. 3 is melee. 5 is armed melee. And 2 is pistol, which I don't have. Shoulder. 5. Actually, 5 should be the lantern. Where's my lantern gone?
How are you?
Where's my lantern gone? I guess they changed the ID and how it acts because it's not equipped as a melee. What I do need to change, I remembered, is a key binding, a scroll being my weapon select. All the way down here. Here we go. Next weapon, previous weapon. I need to bind them to something I'm never gonna press. I don't know what it thinks I pressed. That is not that key. That is not that key. That's not even those keys on the English keyboard. What key does it think I pressed? It thinks that's hyphen. Okay, so let's save that and press my actual hyphen key. Okay, good. It's not reading hyphen, it is reading key ID. Oh, I joined a server that was reading key input instead of key ID, and it drove me nuts because they had push-to-talk bound to a key I can't press. Or, no, it wasn't push-to-talk, it was my range. I couldn't change my range because it was bound to... What did they bind it to? The block. It was the right block bracket. Changed your volume up and down. It was the cycle. Which is fine, it's like right above... On English, it's right above the enter key. It's not too far out of the way, I suppose. If you're already using enter and arrows for menu navigation, at least. But, I can't press that key. I have to use Alt code. I press Alt GR to get that key, which broke it. Because the moment I pressed Alt GR, it stopped reading input. And because it wasn't a key ID, it didn't care if I pressed the same key in the same position as on an English keyboard. It wanted me to type bracket into the game. So, I'm dawdling a little bit, but let's... How do I unequip my bow? Is there a way to unequip my bow? Equip? Equip? I can double equip it. Ignore the fact I have 2 bows, okay? Weapon equipped bow. I've got my lantern back out now. Weapon equipped bow. Weapon unequipped bow. Okay. We're good. Got my lantern back out. It's so weird because pressing 5 gets rid of it. It's like it thinks it's in the same spot, but it doesn't come back out. But that's fine. I don't have a holster on my horse, so this is going to be on my back most of the trip, I think. I've had a look at the emotes, but I've not... Hello. I've not done much more than mess around with what I need, basically. I slept on a bench because I can't find out how to get a hotel room yet. Look at that. Cedar feed? No brush? Do I need to buy a horse brush? Oh, we're gonna have to get you one of those. I'm almost set for my trip though at this rate. Is OBS running as admin? Never. I don't even like Windows running as admin, but they have to because they're the people that give me admin rights. As an RP tip, play with the menus while hidden somewhere in case you miss an interaction. I usually, yeah, Saint Denis seems pretty dead. Awkwardly so at the moment. And I don't seem to be able to buy myself a train ticket. I did find a ticket booth, but, it was for a boat, and the boat didn't move. Where's the market? Down this way, I know. How are we doing? 13 FPS? You know, it's half of a movie quality. I know the grocer's here, but he doesn't sell fruit and veg. And the butcher, for some reason, is a quest giver, but not a vendor.
Things are bad. Mind your business.
But I have tried a handful of emotes. Most of the time it's me switching walk styles. Oh, you just get horse XP from being on a horse. I like that. We are going to have to find you a brush. I didn't even think that I wouldn't have a brush. And we might have to find a hol- Should we buy a holster for the horse? I think you need one for multiple weapons, right? I mean, we don't need it. But it would be nice to stow it. Stream stats on Twitch say you're on a smooth 30. The capture isn't. I don't know what it's uploading, though. There's so many different points the frame rate can basically hemorrhage. The game is so smooth. It tortures me that I cannot record any evidence of how well this game runs. Because it runs so beautifully. I can turn it up to ultra. I could take screenshots, but screenshots don't move. But it does, even now. Like, I still think it's like averaging 40 if I take into account the fact it dips occasionally. But it doesn't look bad. It looks quite smooth. You know, I could probably... It dropped a little bit there, but you could probably track fairly well when it comes to aiming and stuff like that. That's usually the big thing. It's like the first thing to go when you have frame drops is your accurate aim and tracking. But it's fine. OBS is capturing 14 frames, but I don't know what it's uploading though, was my point. Because OBS is reporting that it's capturing 6 FPS at the moment, good lord. Actually, do you think if I open inventory and tab out, I still keep walking? No. But the moment I tab out, it's back to 30. Now you can see what I normally see. Oh, hang on. It tapped back in when I got rid of the start menu. But like, when I tab out, it's capturing all the frames. Look at that horse walk past. This is what I normally see, but the moment I click the game and do anything in the game... Oh, guys, I found the beep. It was behind the book. It was the big yellow bar at the top. Apples or sugar cubes for Arizona. I'm gonna try and find some apples, but I need to remember where the market is and I've gone the wrong way. Let's head off. Yeah. As much as I don't like running programs as admin, it's safe to say OBS is one of the few I should trust to run as admin. Can trust. Should. Different conversation. But OBS isn't going to do anything hard. It's the plugins you can put into OBS that I've always been worried about because, I mean, again, that's a vetting thing and you just have to trust them at some point. But I've had my setup for long enough. I think I can trust OBS to run as admin. That NPC did fail, RP. Actually don't know if that would count. He got annoyed at me and stomped off. Maybe that actually counts. Maybe he was in character there. As an annoyed, estranged NPC trying to get away from me. But yeah, it could be worth trying OBS as admin. Because I know a couple of people on AMD setups have tried OBS as admin for a couple of other programs that were hemorrhaging frames. Like, and they had the same issue. Game would run fine, capture would look horrible, stream would look average at best. And they run as admin and all that stuff disappeared. And this is confusing enough as it is that this is happening in the first place, that running as admin might actually fix it. Because well, that wouldn't make sense to me either, but just seems to be something to consider. I might give it a try next time. I know we've come full circle, because we're back at the greengrocer and the butcher's down there. Butchered? No, it's the general store and the butcher. Distinctly... Oh, good lord, I know where the general markets are. I'm just having a moment. They're right next to the stables, which is also where we need to go to get ourselves a horse brush. And possibly a holster for the rifle. No, you know what, I'm deciding. We're not getting a holster. It's $10 I don't need to spend. You know, I did say I wanted to get a cheap mongrel. But I have to admit, I get way too sentimental and attached to things way too quickly because I kind of like Arizona now. We almost spent $80 on a paint horse. Look at this. This is the streaming asset issue. So it's not that the game can't run, but watch what happens when I tab out. Oh, look, it's immediately back. Why does the game have an asset streaming issue? I don't know. Why does tabbing out fix it? I don't know. Why does it only happen when OBS is open? I don't know. Nothing makes sense, so maybe run as admin doesn't make sense and we'll fix it too. I've seen it happen in the past, so I might as well try it. Because, I won't lie, if I can get this game running super smooth and clean, I'd probably end up no-lifing Red Rock. If this game streamed well, I probably would not play another game for a good couple of months. And the market, that's the stables down there. The market... There's the station. The market is here, isn't it? The stable's a little further down. Where's the market? I'm going insane. Is it further in town? Okay, I've lost even the stables. No, there's the stables, so we have gone too far. 10 minutes to buy an apple and get a brush! Maybe we should do this first. Headbutt that door. Oh, did I not grab the lead? What's the button for lead? It's the same button. I just cancelled the animation, I guess. Lee your horse first. Doesn't that hit it? I don't want to hit my horse. Bye! Don't kick me. That would be very awkward to die here in Saint Denis. Okay, we did it. Buy equipment. I need... You can buy a mustache. Holsters are 10, aren't they? But it would give us a spot to put our rifle. Oh, I just hit enter thinking I could customize the color. Alright, there you go. How do I buy a someone else sells the horse brush? Try a different codec? I did mess around with different codecs way back yonder when I was first trying out RedM. I didn't find anything too convincing on that side either. But we'll see how we go with running it as admin. Because that could be a Hail Mary that fixes everything. It may not, and then we can delve into things like codecs. Lantern, tails, saddlebags, horns, blankets, bedrolls. Horse mask? Oh, we have $17 left, and I don't know where to buy a brush. Oop, wrong button. So, I thought the stables were on the outskirts of town, and the general store was along the railway further in town. So, no matter what, if we follow the railway, we end up at the general market. But I think we've left it too late to buy an apple again, so we're stuck homeless in Saint Denis unless we just move on without one. You silent as the night, good lord.
Who's this then?
Well, now we have a holster. Holstering on a horse is different, apparently.
Evening there, missy.
Holstering on a horse is different. Okay. Is the holster useless? Did I just waste $10? Normally, I press unequip and it holsters it on the horse in the base game. But something is working differently here too. Same with the lantern not being on my unarmed. Or my weapon unarmed. Melee unarmed. Melee hand to hand. There you go. That's what I should call it. Hand to hand. We're back in town. There is no way the general market is on the other side of town and I've just remembered completely wrong. That's probably the most likely answer. That's probably the most likely answer. Come on. I thought it was on the same side of town as the stables. So either we're going to get all the way out here and not find the general market, and we're going to turn around and try the other way. Or I was wrong. But I'm wrong either way, because I thought it was before the stables. I'm refusing to check the map on purpose. I don't like that. In the base game, it's great for navigation, because when you have the cinematic camera on, the waypoints are just... the horse just automatically follows the waypoints. And I'd probably still use it for that too, a little bit. I got 5 minutes to buy you an apple! And I may not be able to, because the shops are probably closed. I swear it's not out this way. No, we're getting out of town. There's no way the markets are here. No shops out here anymore. Hey! That's another Arizona over there. Yeah, no. This isn't it.
Evening.
It's gonna beep every minute. We're counting. Look, the sun's already set. He doesn't have a horse. Hello. We're gonna have to walk past the stables. I swear. Unless I'm on the wrong street and it's following the tram lines or something. Perhaps that'll be my next bet. It's not a railway that I need to follow, it's a tramway I need to follow. I have spent a week in Saint Denis being lost. In fact, speaking of spending a week in Saint Denis... But I think I'm gonna have to sit here on this park bench for now. Is the server just rebooting? Like quick on off? Or do I have to wait a little while? Probably be polite to log off, but... It runs so well. I don't see any of the stuff you guys see, and that drives me insane. I just want it to run okay. You know what? The server's restarting. I'm gonna do a checkpoint. I'm gonna reboot in Vulkan, and I'm gonna reboot OBS in admin mode. We're gonna stop and have an intermission here, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm gonna make myself a fresh cup of coffee, get myself some fresh cup of tea. 10 minutes, we'll be back. I'm gonna switch OBS to admin, we're gonna switch over to the Vulkan engine, and we'll see if we can get any semblance of a smooth stream going, because if there's ever a time to do it, now's the time when we're about to be kicked off. F8 type quit. I typed quit into the... I'm not tapped in. F8 quit just puts it in my chat. Oh, that's a hard crash. Far out. That's just gone. Bye. Bye. Quit is the best way to close out of the game? That was so unapologetic. It's just gone. Usually I use the main menu and close it like I'm in the base game, but... What? Everything is just struggling to run at the moment because it's the one weird quirk. I'm gonna name the daily password Board Horse. What did I actually name it? Board Stream. Board Horse. Board S Horse? There we go. But we're not running that at the moment. That's how you're supposed to close it, with F8 type quit. There you go. Alright. I'm gonna close up stream. We won't raid out. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'll even start the stream back up and we'll get the pre-stream timer and everything going as well. So I'll see you around in a few minutes.
As I lose myself to time, I